Where's that clip bowl? Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday. My kids are excited. It's Friday. Good morning. Happy Friday. Looking for my clip bowl that I just like went MIA. It got sucked into the ethers or something out here. Good morning. Happy Friday. So I have put the Jane wallet up, the video up. It's there are 2 mistakes. I do acknowledge them and I do correct them while I'm on the let me turn my while I'm on the in the video, but the wallet comes together really, really quickly. It doesn't have a lot of components. I think it has like 5 pattern pieces. I follow the pattern exactly, except I make 3 small modifications and I make them in there and I tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So let me get into it. I bought this kit from Sewing Creations. I did put her link into the description box. There's no affiliations. I purchased this kit with my own monies, and I wanted to for a while because every time I see so many creations at one of the Sew Magicals, she just makes me a fan of her talent, her personality more and more. She's an incredibly kind person. And she creates she sells a lot of cork. Her cork, she has some that like all the cork people have, and then she has a lot that she designs herself. And I'll show you the one that she designed in a minute that I purchased. So this wallet, there's a lot of different closures you can do. You can do a turn lock, cam snap. I did a 24 line snap. You can do a fashion snap, which is 12. Magnet. You can do a magnet, especially like the riveted magnet ones will be really well. There's no interfacing. This is just the cork. When you open up the wallet, you have 2 billfolds area. You have 7 credit card slots. And you have an ID wallet. And when you go to the back, you have a zipper wallet that has a gusset. Sorry, my phone is just making a lot of noise. A zipper wallet. And when you open the wallet up, you have a really clever like where you can slip your phone. If you didn't have I have a gigantic cake, so this is a bad representation, but I'm going to slip it in anyway so you can see. You put your phone in. And because there's not a lot of interfacing, I just fit a Galaxy Fold into this. So it's a good size. So when I made this one yesterday. I was done in like 45 minutes. I was like, this wallet looks really good for me to finish it in 45 minutes. It's all top stitchy, basically. The seam allowance is 1/8 of an inch. She has measurements in her pattern. The pattern's only 9 pages, and there's only 2 pattern pieces, and one's for this curve, and one is for a credit card slip pocket guide. Now, in the video, I'm one of those people, if you have templates that go with your pattern, I generally try to buy them because I know I'm going to make this pattern more than once. There's very few patterns that I have only made once and never made again. So I made it again and I filmed it and I used her Starry Night fabric. As soon as I seen this on the website, I went to it like fast because it made me feel like Doctor Who, my favorite episodes when they meet Van Gogh. So what I did is, one, you'll see I edge coated. There's no instructions. You can leave cork raw. It doesn't have to be edge coated, but I decided to do this one with edge coat because you know how I am. I always make the first one exactly per pattern. And the first modification I did is I put some Craftex in here because I knew it was going to be a heavier magnet, and I didn't want it to get weighed down or rip through, or the magnet pulls on the fabric because there was nothing in there. So you can kind of tell that the flap is different. And what's good about this differential for you to see is because these are both her cork. So I'm not using something from like Emmeline bag or whatever. Good morning. So that was the first modification I did, is I put some Craftex just in the flap area. I made it 1/4 of an inch smaller than the actual pattern piece as it is. So we have our credit card, or I'm sorry, our ID pocket. And then we have our bifold for our cash. We have our 7 card slots. When you close it, you have a magnetic closure. And then we do have our wallet. Now, this is another area I made a modification. She actually shows you in her video, I went to watch it last night. In her video, she uses HTV on this side, so you don't just see the cork. But in the how it's written in the pattern, there's no HTV. You just see the wrong side of the cork, which is not bad. It's just the natural cork color. You could make this in vinyl or any in non-frame material. I would not recommend waterproof canvas because waterproof canvas and water-resistant canvas can fray. So my modifications I did was put a stabilizer in the flap. I put cotton lining in the back, so when you open it up, you can see the doctor's name. And I put a cork lining in here. When in the pattern, like if you use a cam snap or even a twist lock, when you install the male portion, when you install the male portion, it's exposed in the back. And my hands are, I don't know what's wrong. Like if I stick my hands even on a turn lock, it nicks me. My skin starts to pill around that area. So what I did is I added a small piece of cork that went underneath the fold line. It's easier to show you on this one. There's a fold line. So I put a piece of cork underneath the fold line and top stitch that. And you'll see that I did a row of stitching here on top, and it eliminates you from seeing the exposed backside. I got bit. There's like a lot of mosquitoes out right now, and I'm gonna start looking like a grapefruit in a minute. So yeah, this is the wallet that I put, I did a video for. I want to make another one of her patterns. This pattern came together so fast. I thought it was going to take a very long time, and it doesn't. She's really clever. I love how this always, there's a couple people that have the opening like this, and I always never do it because I'm always afraid I'm going to mess up. The way her method is, it was fairly easy. It was fun, and it makes me want to explore more gusset pocket openings. It was pretty cool. So that's what I made yesterday, were these two beauties. And again, I put the link to her website, and I bought this packet for the kit for this. And then if you buy the kit, it comes with everything that you need, the credit card slot, the plastic for the ID window. It comes with the zipper and the zipper tape and the pattern. So I seen this one on her site, and I was like, ooh, this is really pretty. And then I bought this cork, and I was like, yes, this is everything for me. And then I Doctor Who'd it up because that's my favorite episode. And also, like, the Weeping Angels, but this one, Van Gogh, episode makes me cry every single time. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. So that video's out. Patreon, if you're on right now, yours is video out on, I call it the flat roll, a new handle style that I literally came up by accident. It is yes, thank goodness it's Friday. It's a weird weather today. It's warm but cold, and it could just be because it's humid. So today I am either going to be making, I have a tester bag, and I wanted to make my tester bag today, but my materials are not here for it. So I think I'm going to make a Star Trek Catalina or something Star Trek, because I only have 2 bags that are Star Trek for the convention. So I'm going to possibly do that. And I have an idea of what I want in my head. I just need to sketch it out before I create any of like reverse appliques or appliques. I always draw the bag out. So that way I have something to reference when I'm looking at it, because I'll just draw a blank afterwards. So I'm doing that. And what else am I doing? I'm doing that and probably just sewing all day until late at night, because Friday is a great day for me because none of my kids have after school activities. They all come home. They're all like, oh, it's no school, so we watch TV, chill, whatever, and I could just sew. And then when Kendall comes home, we talk for a minute, and I can just sew until I want to go to bed. So I love Fridays because I feel like I can get so much more work done. I could finish maybe 1 to 2 bags, or like start a design. I haven't started on my apron for WandaVision yet, so I need to start on that. There's like AwesomeCon is like 28 days away. The retreat in North Carolina is 21 days away. In 21 days, I get to meet like a whole bunch of cool people at a retreat, and we get to make a bag together and go shopping together, and just like hang out and go to dinner and do everything together. So I'm excited because it's like adult interaction versus I'm always with a kid. So I start talking like a kid. It's like my daughter, she has like her little Wii U, and I say it now all the time because I'm always around children. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing. And figuring out my phone. My phone is acting weird. Like it won't go on mute or vibrate. And I don't like notification sounds. Like I normally have my phone on vibrate because when I worked, before where I worked, every place I ever worked, you had to have your cell phone on silent. So I'm so used to having it on silent. And then when my babies are young, when they're newborns, they like someone can yawn and they can wake up. So I would have my phone on silent or vibrate. So now that my youngest daughter has her first cell phone, I turned up my volume. I turned off the mute, and now I can't get it to go back on. No matter how many times you reset the phone or start it over, it just won't go. So there's that. I'm trying to see. There's like, I think there's some new patterns dropping. There's a couple of places that have some different fabrics. I did get this fabric from. Good morning. I did get this fabric from 3 Bobbins. And I wanted to share. I'm going to use it in a upcoming test. Look at it. It's like a holographic steampunk. It's so pretty. I'm going to use it in a wallet because I like this roll is really small. It's like 12 inches, I think. This is the reason why I don't usually buy custom. It's not even 12 inches. Hold on. This is really the reason. It is 12 inches. Like, well, it's actually like 11 and 7/8 of an inch. So just one. I generally buy most of all my vinyl from Fabric Wholesale Direct. Sometimes if I'm ordering hardware from Emmeline Bags, I order some of her Mora or Rex. But generally I get whatever is around me, because like you pay like $12 or $18 for one roll like this, but you can get a whole yard for half that cost. So usually just go simple, and then I try to juice it up a little bit. So I got this, and there's a couple of patterns I'm testing, and one of them's a wall, and I thought this would be really cute. It feels good. I'm hoping it turns good because it's kind of stiff in the front, and sometimes those don't turn the best, you have to use a little bit of heat. Yeah, this weekend I'm basically trying to finish all my tester bags and my strike bags, so that way I can just have the next couple weeks of focusing heavily on AwesomeCon and getting everything prepared and being really organized. Like some days next week I'm going to be putting barcodes on everything, and yeah, that's going to take a while. And I expect myself to be super frustrated when I'm done. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, this is the the Jane wallet from So Many Creations, and this is the video that just dropped. And I show you in that video a few modifications I did for the original, but both wallets are amazing. They both hold phones really well, and there's no interfacing. You can use it for any non-fraying fabrics. So all that information is in the description. There's no affiliation. It just when I met one of those people at So Magical, and you're just like, you're awesome. I want to make a video for one of your patterns. So I did that, and I'm excited. I like her pattern style. It like has like this reminiscence of like a lot of indie patterns. Like there's some indie patterns that I like that things are like in black and white. They have pictures and they also have diagrams, and like it's a different experience than what we see in like the PDF world. There's just a couple companies like that, a couple indie patterns. Whenever I pull it out, it makes me feel like happy in one word, because it's not what you typically see, what we as bag, makers. So it's 9 pages. That's it. 2 pages are patterns, and that's it. 9 pages, and they're paragraphs and very descriptive. And so I appreciate it. She also has videos that accompany every single one of her patterns, and they're all on YouTube. And she's a very, very good teacher. Super clear, thorough. She's funny on top of it. So I do implore you, if you have the opportunity to go on her website and you see a bag you want to make, you can buy it, and you have a video for it for free. And she has a lot of bags under her belt. And she works exclusively with like fabrics, like cotton fabrics and corks. She sells corks. She designs her own cork. Like this, I'm telling you, this Starry Night, it's my favorite. I have one more roll, and I'm going to hoard it like a fire drake, because it's just, she makes her own designs. And then the Hinterguard that I made from Lavender and Twine, that pink fabric, that cork was from her as well. So she designs a lot of her own corks, and I appreciate that. And all of her patterns really don't focus too much on stabilizer and interfacing, but when they do, it's Pellon product, so it means that it'd be easier to access the interfacing than things like Decaville Light and Decaville Heavy. So I kind of like that. I dig that, because I feel like when you look at like Swoon Sewing Patterns by Mrs. H, or even So Sweetness, a lot of them use Pellon products. And right now, we're really gun-ho and focused on Decaville Heavy and Decaville Light. My always issue was it's not the product itself. The product's fabulous. It's the cost. So sometimes I go right back to basics and start using Decaville, not Decaville, but Pellon products, and I really wind up liking them. Just, I don't know. Like, I like Thermolam like no one's business. That is like my choice for interfacing. Like even with the bag that I showed you yesterday, the Lord of the Ring bag, that's interfaced with Thermolam and I think Shapeflex 101. Like, I sandwiched it together. Yeah, it's still like, well, my problem is even if it was 50% off, you're looking at what, $9 a yard. And I don't know. I just feel like it's really expensive. I believe the inside of the bag should count, but I just don't believe the stabilizers should cost more than the materials of the exterior. And I see that a lot, where someone's getting Fabric Wholesale Direct Marine Vinyl, which is $10.99 a yard, but what they have in their interfacings are Decaville Heavy and Decaville Light, which cost significantly more than $10.99 a yard. So, and I'm looking more as in price points, reducing the price, so that way when you sell your bag, you're actually making significant profit. And that's the way I think of it. I use Decaville Light and Decaville Heavy too, just not as much as everyone thinks I do. I use a lot of unconventional hard stabilizers. Like, a lot of my bag bases I get from Home Depot and Lowe's. Like, there's rolls of cardboard you can get that are just like the cardboard that you can buy at Tandy Leathers in Springfield, and I glue them to the base of my bag. And I guess also testing for different people that are in different countries, that are in like I test for two designers that are in Nigeria, and they are not privy to have Decaville Light and Decaville Heavy. And watching them create bags and stabilizers, and their bags look better than anything I've ever seen. It made me start like kind of going outside the box. And then when I talked to one of them, there, she's like, "Yeah, I'm not understanding why people are putting interfacing that costs more than the materials that they're putting on the exterior." And that kind of stuck with me. Everyone gets feel different about that, but I kind of agree with them. It makes no sense. No one, I don't know. It kind of makes sense. And I guess with me, when I had a person, I made a park sling from Soul Sweetness out of all Decaville Light. And this person's like, "I love this bag, but it's so heavy when there's nothing in it." So I took the bag back. I remade the bag with foam, what the pattern actually asked for. And it was significantly less weight. And with America, we have a lot of people have shoulder, back pain, hip pain, whatever. I'm also thinking of that like bigger picture. If this person really is going to carry your bag all day, every day, it shouldn't be so heavy when there's nothing in it. When so foam and thermolam and stuff like that are lighter weight materials. And even Lazy Girl Stitch has a what is it called? They have their craft, it's called Craftex, but with a C instead of a K. Hands down my favorite fabric. And it's like $6 a yard. Yeah. And that's the thing. Good morning. And that's the thing if I testing for people that are not in America and they don't have Decaville Light has made me start realizing that it's like America and like kind of Canada that are hyper focused on this. Other countries that there's a French person I test for, and they will tell you to use uh like fiberglass for the bottom of your bag or this, and it's crazy to me when I'm testing from these other ones. And when I ask them questions, they are pretty much, or what I'm relaying to you is that that product is extremely expensive. And again, you got to think, if I'm interfacing this bag and the interfacing costs more than the actual exterior, the person's not paying for the interfacing. They're paying for what you have on the exterior. So just a food for thought. Everyone's definitely not going to agree with me, and I completely understand. But you guys already know my stance. If you've been here, even if you've seen a swoon video for me going over unconventional interfacing, I use pretty much everything. But my number one I use is like Lazy Girl Sews. I use a lot of by Annie Soft and Stable. I'm a foam person. I just like the way it feels. It's a lighter bag. Um, and it's affordable. And I use a lot of just I use a lot of tailoring interfacing. Sometimes when I don't have SoFuse or DLH light or heavy, I'll use stuff that they use for collars. And I go to a lot of corset shops and use their interfacing because it's extremely cheaper than what I get in the bag world. Yeah, you need to do when I make a bag, I don't factor in time. I have this weird thing, like I feel like money bag talk always makes me apprehensive, nervous, and makes me not want to speak up because I believe you should choose what you feel like your bag is worth. Now, everyone lives in different everyone lives in different like county cities and whatever. For example, I lived in California all my life. When I moved out of California, I lived in Arizona, Colorado, Seattle, and now Maryland for the past 10 plus years, 13 years. But the cost of living in California is more. So someone can we can have the same bag and you can charge more because of the cost of living, and someone is willing to pay that. With that being said, this is why I do like marketplaces like Etsy, even though they like to just gouge people for fees and they force you into doing advertisement and whatever. Because of that, it opens up the market where people from New York, Canada, whatever, like will buy it. I feel I did get advice from two really great bag makers, and they always told me never to base my prices off of anyone else. and charge what I think it's worth, and you're worth, and then add more to that because you're actually worth more. And I do. If somebody really wants my bag, they'll buy it. If it's too rich for their blood, they won't. That bag wasn't meant for them. It's really that simple. We put a lot of effort in our bags, and somebody that sees it and likes your style and likes what you're showing will buy it. Sometimes I make a bag and it won't sell for a year, and then I'll take it to a convention and it found its forever home. Sometimes I can make a bag just like the Poe bag and it's sold in a matter of hours. It you never know. You never know what's going to work out. That's the hard part. I don't have a try and true. I wish I did, but I think because my aesthetic is I don't like really making the same bag twice. I always make it a little bit different. Um I can't it's hard. I don't have like I have repeat bags like if I make a any kind of Doctor Who with Erica Bowler, it's like those two combinations or Chef Kiss. Now it will look slightly different each time because that's just me. I like to make things I have different ideas going through my head, so it'll look different each time. But other people want to sell their bags. I have a friend that like sells like really cute like zippy bags, and she sells them like for $40, but she uses real like she gets has a discount on leather or whatever. And I was like, why are you selling it for so cheap? And she said, you may think it's cheap, but I'm getting this for wholesale, and this is what this um economy is. But the real reason why she sells it for this, it's kind of like it's like we call it the cult following. Once someone buys one bag from you and they see how well your quality is, chances are they're going to be a repeat customer and they'll pay whatever you ask for. So that's her take. So everyone has a different take. And all we could do is learn from one another and try to apply what we think is knowledgeable to ourselves. Like I'm always listening to other people and how they have their ideas, or I go into vendor groups seeing how they set up their stance because I'm forever trying to perfect it. Um, yeah, you just all we can do is try, right? Good morning. Yeah, I only like one. I love one of the kind bags because um I don't know, making the same bag over and over again will be just like I think it would zap out my creativity. And it might be some really creative for somebody else. Like what I find creative might not be creative for any other. Oh my gosh, you have pneumonia? I'm sorry. Oh, Jenny, I hope you're getting better. Ooh, that's harsh. Yeah, everyone has different creative stance, and you just got to figure out. I just showed I just showed you nerdy I have nerdy fabrics. That's just who I am. When I make something that it always surprises me when I make something when I call it grown up. I was trying to have a grown up section in my Etsy where like it's made with like cork or like it's something like this. It's nothing nerdy. These things sell for me too. I didn't know I had that demographic or that audience. I thought everybody that generally follows me wants nerdy things. But I was mistaken. But then I have a mixture of both of them, where they want something that looks like it's not nerdy, but then something is there. So it takes somebody else to be like, oh my God, this is this. It's a Dalek, I think that's why the Poe bag sold so fast. It's hilarious. There's no Notorious, there's no Camelot, there's no actual Star Wars fabric on there. What sells for me really well are my interpretation of somebody's art. Like the jacket was my version of my art for Poe. And things like that sell incredibly more faster than actually fandom fabric. Same with when I go back to my Wanda, my Bucky, my Phoenix, my Wonder Woman bags, my Captain Marvel, those sell. Like my Chung-Chi bags, oh my God, those sell like crazy. And they're no actual fabric that shows these characters. It's my artwork that I make into bags. And if you're in my if you're in my Patreon, you know the WandaVision bag. That one sold like ridiculously fast. And there was Camelot fabric that you can get at Joann's for $12.99, but you bust out your 40% coupon and you got it for, significantly less. That was the lining. No custom fabric, but people like the exterior. The Mando bag, I'm getting a lot of questions on too, but I haven't put it on any platform. Ginny, you know why. Oh man, I'm sorry, pneumonia, that's rough. Yeah, no, pneumonia scares me. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, clutch my pearls. So, yeah, it's just like the covert theme for me is my niche. Everyone would think it's like the fandom fabrics, and it's not for me. They like that's the reason why you see like things like this. This is what you can't actually see Cora's face, but you can see how they break down her outfit. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see where I made a Cora apron, and it's because I was able to take these drawings and start freeform pinning onto my dress form and creating an apron that looked like Cora. And I don't know, that's what that's my talent, and it's been with me. My Abuelita taught me how to sew, but when I would create things for Teddy Ruxpin or Cricket or any of the dolls, my buddy dolls, it would just be free form, and that's how I learned how to make clothing. And she let me. I was really blessed to have someone that would let me explore that side of my head, and I never really realized until a couple years ago that when I would play Barbies with my siblings and whatever, I never wanted to play Barbies. I always wanted to make them clothes. Like I always wanted to make them clothes. And even if there wasn't a needle and thread, I would do like weaving and wefting and knots to create clothes for these dolls. Um, and that's what my love of bags is when I'm able to make something with no fandom fabric, but just my imagination and plain vinyl. And I think that's why I do good financially on when I'm selling bags, because I'm not using incredibly expensive materials unless someone asks me to make it in cork or leather. Thank you. Yeah, I'm I think the people on Patreon get to see a little bit more of my creative process because it's different. I get to do these. I love my captain's logs because it's one, it's kind of therapeutic. Two, it makes me feel like I'm not alone. There's other sewists out there. Three, you guys help with so many things. Like I said, alone, the apple cider vinegar mixed with water for Loki, game changer, because like I already have that stock in my head to do it for the winter when it's too cold to wash them outside. Because this little fur ball, everyone's like, oh, do it in the shower. I don't know what, he has no hair, but he sheds everywhere. I don't understand. I got like 12 of his hairs in my eyes yesterday. I'm not over exaggerating. I'm sitting here like, oh my god. Oh my god. One slobber kiss, next thing I know, a bazillion hairs in my eye. So yeah, I learned so much for being around all of you. And then the cool thing about Patreon is that there's so many people with different ideas, and we're all like feeding in on it. And it's just like, I don't know, we all like, it's a very different atmosphere. I wasn't expecting it like that. I thought it was going to be like quiet. I don't know. It's not like watching their comments about like things they want to add to bags, or what bags do we see out of mainstream that are high end that we can make ourselves. And it's so crazy. Everybody pulls out different things so many times, and then mixing and matching of patterns or different ideas. It's pretty interesting. And I refuse to put out something that I'm not 100% on. So they see me make sample bags. They see like out of scraps and stuff. And that's why I don't leave scrap behind. I'm telling you, keep your scraps. Make a mock-up. This is what we do when we're making clothes. We make a mock-up for fitting. It's the same thing with bags. I usually get really cheap fabric that I got. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm not going to sell it. And this becomes my mock-up drawer. Oh, thank you. Yeah, don't no scraps behind. Like I don't even if it's like it has to be marine vinyl for me to make these. I will make washers, like 1 inch or 3/8 of an inch washers, and punch a hole in it. So you get the 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch or a half an inch hole punch. I usually that's why I'm smacking. I usually smack them out, and then you have your holes, right? And then I punch a hole in the center. And whenever I have to put a rivet in lining, I always use a washer on the back so your rivet won't pull through. So that my no scraps go behind. I have like a whole little cup full of washers. No one's gonna see the color in the back. It's just protecting it. Or and sometimes if I'm not using foam and the pattern asks for a Decaville light, I'll still put the washer because with foam, it's harder for it to pull through than Decaville light because you have to go through many, many layers of foam for it to pull it through. So if I could put a washer on it, that's my key. That no rivets get ripped out with me. I had it done once and I almost lost my stuff like Hulk smashing. Yeah, I was really I was pissed. um Yeah, I use stabilizers as scrap too. I do. But my one of my gifts that I give to people when they buy from me is either I'll make a persimmon or Tiffany. I don't know her last name. Her business is called Purple Raven. She has a keychain that I make all the time. If I have just 2 inches by 8 of any fabric, I use that, and then you only need like 1 inch by 4 of scrap, like interfacing, and they are the cutest keychains. Like one side has a swivel clasp, the other side has the D-ring, and then you can just put one of those keychains, and people love those. Like it's most likely if you're getting a Superman bag from me, I can find a Superman scrap. Let me see. I don't see her around as much. I usually see. I know I don't know her, but I don't see I don't see her around, but she has really hold on. I want to say it's Purple Raven. Yeah, Purple Raven Designs. I'm glad I remember her name. I barely remember mine. Um she has the Harvey clutch. She has a lot of the give me I'm trying to get to a link. She has a YouTube channel too. I haven't seen her around a lot lately. She usually isn't so nerdy. I'm gonna give you her Facebook group. She has all these cool things that I love to make for thank you gifts. I'm really big on thank you gifts. I don't know. Because if you're purchasing for me, I'm like I do a happy dance every time someone purchases for me. It makes me it's happy like someone chose me when there's so many other people that are way more talented than me that you could have chose from. But Purple Raven Designs, she has like really great patterns. Nope. Nope. So it's this. It's a key fob. Hold on to me. It's a key fob and it's like $3 for this pattern. This is like if I don't want to make a pouch, I make this. And then she had a really smart idea about using Amazon hardware for this because it's significantly cheaper than anything else. This probably cost me like $2 a pop, but people love it because it matches it. So like it's whatever fabric you have on here, and on the other side, it is on the other side, it's cork. Oh yeah, and she uses all these vintage singers. She has a really great YouTube channel. But I haven't seen her in a while, so I'm hoping everything's okay. But yeah, Purple Raven Designs. She has really great. If you're looking for just stuff to have at like if you're selling at a craft fair or a bazaar or whatever, kids gravitate to this because most kids have the keys to their parents' house, and it's just a nice gift. Even this one's cute too. I used to use this one, but I started with the persimmon. It has like a little swivel hook on the side, and you can just clip it on. She has really cute designs, not expensive patterns. She has videos for her patterns. And if you go into So Nerdy, look up her name. When it's like Tiffany, I forgot her last name. It's Tiffany McKee. Look up Tiffany McKee in So Whatever or in So Nerdy. And when you see her bags, you're going to lose your ever loving mind. She is so unbelievably creative. It's not even funny. Yes, her Star Trek coin bag. Oh, I'm so, like she is so talented. Like, oh my God, her talent literally gets me amped up. Like I want to make something because it's somebody else as nerdy as I. Like I get excited when I see other nerdy people. It's weird, I know, but I do. Okay. Like, have you ever just like flipped through your Instagram or Facebook and you seen someone's bag and that bag made you like stand up like, oh, like it's like my husband with football, except I'm like, I get it. He's looking at someone's talent running across the field or catching it or tackling. That is talent. But I'm not a big football person and he is. So he sees that talent, he gets excited. That's how I treat bags. Like you would think I was in a sports game. If I see someone drop like a bomb ass back, I'll be like, I will drop my tablet or phone and like do what the football players do, like walking around going, oh, like, yeah, because it makes me happy. That means that the more nerdy bags to me that are in this world, the more that will be accepted and the more that means people are going to buy. People obviously love nerdy bags. This is why they get Loungefly, Heroes and Villains, Hot Topic stuff, Lunchbox stuff, because there is a need for it. So when I see an artist creating stuff like that, I lose it in a good way, in a super good way. But yes, she's incredibly talented. So my go-to is a persimmon because I have the template and I can cut it out. And like I said, I have a Sizzix die for her dumpling and I can just roll it out. So it's like not even cutting. I just lay the fabric, roll it out, and then I sew. But if someone buys like something smaller for me, like a dop kit, or like I'll just put a keychain in it. And then if I do have multiple buyers. So sometimes if I recognize the name, I need to go back into their order history for me to see what I sent them. And then if I already sent them these two things, then I'll send them a Harvey or something else because I don't want to feel like it's recycling again. So I'll send them to something a little bit different. Like I have a person that every time I come out with any kind of D&D bag, she buys it. So I always make her special dice bags that have like slots for each individual dice. Or this is how you keep your customers. Think about it. When you think of high end, like let's go for like Louis Vuitton. Let's just do Louis Vuitton. There's everyday people like you and me in the world that buys it, but then there's people like Kim Kardashian or J Lo or anyone that's famous. Do you think they don't keep a record of what they buy? You don't think that they send out promotions to these people, or here they give them firsthand white glove, like come into the store, we close down all the store, you can get what you want. That's how we have to treat our customers. We sew bags and we sew specialized bags, whether it's nerdy, cork, leather, cotton, whatever. We have to give our customers a white glove experience so that they don't go anywhere else. This is why I advocate for sending thank you gifts, just to let them know that you appreciate them, because they could have went somewhere else, but they chose you. So that's the way I look at it. We give them the white glove experience, and it just, I don't know. I like giving. I'm that person that when I get off of this call with you, I got a new medication, and my insurance wanted like $2,100 a month to purchase it. The nurse at my neuro place found a way for me to get it pretty much for free for the whole year. And I was able to get my prescription yesterday. It was too late to call her because it was 7 o'clock. As soon as I get off this thing with you, I'm calling her to say thank you. She didn't have to do that. I know that's probably her job, but I'm still going to say thank you because it's important for me to say thank you to people that make me happy, and this makes me happy. This medicine's going to help with my headaches. Then thank her. And when I go in there on Monday to go get my sleep apnea test, I get to do it at home. Probably going to bring her a donut or candy or something because that's, don't forget, saying thank you can mean the world to someone. It's the little things. Yes, the little things make the biggest difference. Just like that's what I told you. One of my favorite things to buy from Lauren is her tags because you go to my if you go to my Instagram, I'm not my Instagram, my Etsy, you'll see so many people like, look at this, like they're pulling it, and it's one of her tags, and I'm like, it's because it's so little. They don't know these tags cost us maybe what, like for a 5-pack, you pay like $3 or something. They have no idea that these things cost us literally peanuts to put in, but it makes them feel good. It makes them excited. Yep. I don't handwrite my notes. This is Kindle hopped in here. I don't rap or I don't write notes. That is all on Kindle. So if you see penmanship, it is not me. It's Kindle because I suck at rapping. He even packs my bags when I go to like So Magical or out because like I suck. Like when my bag comes home, like it is like overstuffed, and he's like, "What did you do?" Oh yeah, I think thank yous are just it helps. It helps tremendously. It makes it I don't know. I feel like sometimes we don't say it because it's like not as prevalent anymore, but it does make a big difference. Um so yeah, definitely check her out. I don't like I said, I haven't seen her. I don't know her well enough to reach out to her, but maybe when she sees you guys purchasing her patterns, she might go back into the swinging thing because she's super talented. Um, there's literally no doubt. She's talented and her videos are great. The last time I seen her was a couple years ago when I think she made her husband some Star Wars character, and like it was a full suit, and I remember following her on it, and that's the last I seen of her. She used to post a lot and So Nerdy and So Whatsoever, so I don't remember seeing her anytime recently. And a lot of things happened during COVID, so you know, there's nothing we can do about that. I'm trying to see if I can find my Quora address for you. Because you're probably like, why does she have this Cora with no eyes? It's like I also have a Cruella de Vil, and it's like my favorite because it's inspired off of the red dress that she wore on the the uniform that she wore on top of the car. Man, that was the most expensive cosplay apron I've ever made. I need to really focus on my WandaVision. It's just I haven't found the right kind of leather because my idea was to have it like cotton in the middle and then on the sides leather because she has different shades of burgundy, but having leather for me will actually give me more of a illusion of an hourglass shape because of how it's color blocked. So, oh, here it is. Okay. So that's it. That's my Cora apron, and that's based off of those drawings over there. The tool on here is ridiculous. Yeah. So you get a that's how I get inspired. I draw everything out and then I start thinking of things. Oh my god, no. Kindle's a lifesaver. Like he ships everything out for me. I print the labels and I of course I make the bag, I make you thank you gift, but he packs everything for me. He ships everything for me. He his packing is crazy. If Monica was on here, he will tell. Okay, so Monica loves pandas. So whenever I'm at a craft festival, if anything has pandas, I'll like call her real quick and be like, "Do you want this?" So there was this really cute like mama panda and baby girl panda, and I was like, "Do you want this pillow?" And she was like, "Yes." And so the guy gave us the insert, and I was like, "I don't know how much this is too big for the large box." And he's like, "I can get into a medium box." And I was like, "What?" So Faith was like, "Mom, he got the pillow into a medium box." I kept telling Monica, when the package comes to you, I don't know how it's going to come because he got it into a medium box. And she's like, "Wasn't that pillow like 18 inches?" I was like, "Or 21." It's one of those two. So she gets the box, she gets it this medium box, and she's like, "Okay, not a big deal." She opens it up. She sees like it's like shrink wrap, and as soon as she opened up the Ziploc bag, the pillow just exploded out, and she was like, I was not prepared for that." I was like, That's Kendall's wrapping for you. Oh, I love making garments. Well, see, because my grandmother, she was a seamstress tailor in San Pedro. She had her own business. She would make ball gowns, all this stuff, and stuff for people that do for singers on cruises and for theater. So I've been hemming dresses since I can. I mean, I think I hemmed a dress before I rode a bike. To be honest with you, I think I've been hemming dresses since I was like 3. And it could be because, you're 3, you're little, and you're closer to the floor, so they were like, "Oh, here's the needle and thread." Um, so I know how to do clothes. I like to make a lot of vintage clothes too. Like, if you go on my Instagram, like, it's not just bags. You'll see, like, vintage dresses I made, how I make my costumes, how I made a Lydia Dietz outfit. Like, I just love clothes, and I love making aprons because I'm always at a Comic-Con that looks like I'm cosplaying, but I can just take it off at the end of the day. This one's my favorite, and Kendall can't find it. It's Minecraft. Come on. That green is amazing. I was like, Kendall, where is this? And he's like, I literally don't know where I packed this away. And I'm like, I made this petticoat. This petticoat took me like 8 hours to make. Okay. So yeah, I would like to find this dress. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I definitely like aprons, and I don't know, I just like making cosplay. Anything. My goal is to definitely one day make Sarah's dress from Labyrinth, but 1, I need to lose weight. 2, I have all the pattern pieces, but the material, everything that I cost out, that dress is going to cost me hundreds of dollars to make. Because I don't believe in buying petticoats because my Abuelita. Yes. Oh, what blouse? I like blouses too. Thank you. I like blouses too. I like regular clothes. I'm all the time too. This is my camp shirt. And you can see in the background, you see drawings. There's drawings all over my room that I like will sketch out things. I made a no face from Studio Ghibli, and when you walk into my room, it's posted on a bookshelf. The face that I made to remove pieces to make the no face costume. Like, I like to draw. I'm not my brother's the artist draw. I just can sketch and doodle. And once I sketch it out, then I can make it. That's how I work. So yeah, just everyone find your niche. Do thank you gifts. Even if it's something small like a keychain. Like, get that pattern. I think it's like $3 on Etsy. Um, get that pattern. I guarantee you, like when you're sending out gifts, like presents, like packages for sales, they will like it. And also, I like doing that for putting it into teacher gift buckets, like whatever the school's mascot colors are. It's nice to have, especially if your kid has multiple teachers like my kids do. My kids never had just one teacher. Even in pre-K, there was like 4. They have ELA, they have math, they have there's not, I don't know how other schools have it. I remember going to school and my kindergarten teacher was just my kindergarten teacher. And same thing all the way through elementary. My kids have never had just one teacher. So getting multiple gifts out, that's a nice way to do it too. So what kind of blouse are you making, Jen? There's so many cool patterns out there. I don't own a lot of patterns, but Oh, I'm gonna look up that. I never heard of Love Notions, but I love that name. That is a cool name. Don't you ever like hear someone else's business name and the someone you're like, that is so cool. I love that name. Love Notions. Okay, I have it. I'm writing it down. So I can have something to. Okay, also, I have a lot of Post-its around here, and they're always trying to get me to stop doing that. This is my doctor costume, and this is a full body corset. That was my, she bought my Wonder Woman bag that the year prior, and she brought it to the Awesome Con that year too. I love making Wonder Woman bags. That's my favorite bag to make. And then it's Wanda. And then out of guys, it's always Captain America because there's something about that navy blue and like chocolate brown. Chef's kiss. So I'm going to figure out what kind of Star Trek bag. I haven't drawn anything out yet. I think it would be cool as a Catalina actually, but we shall see. I'm gonna draw a Star Trek bag and then go from there, and I'll show it to you guys manana. I hope everyone has a really good Friday and you're able to spend time with family, friends, or sewing, doing whatever you got to do. And I will talk to you guys all later. You guys have a good day. Happy sewing. Bye.